Thank you very much for joining me.
Hey, what's up? It's What's the Odds with
How
Steve
you been?
Brenton Easy.
Ladies and
Coming to
gentlemen,
you
welcome
Halloween
back.
2025.
Steve Renazizi.
Ooh,
I'm the guy. I'm the guy fucking with the ladies. I'm the
spooky.
guy.
Look at Brenton all dressed up like a fucking tired father at 9 o'clock in the morning, barely able to get the Zoom recording going.
I got it going. We're going.
You did.
It's
Yeah, you
going.
did a great
I
job,
did
dude.
it.
You did a great job. It's the calm before the storm here. I'm on the East Coast. We're not together. It was nice seeing you last week, dude.
Yeah. How was La
You
Jolla?
look La Jolla was amazing. Thank you to those of you who came out to the La Jolla Comedy Store. We sold out a couple shows. They were fantastic. Government shutdown hit that city hard, dude. That's a military city. That's a government city. You forget. You forget. La Jolla, they run on the government dime down there. So thank you to anyone who came to the show. We had a blast last weekend. I got some good video and good recording. So you'll have some clips coming your way soon. Um, yeah, it was awesome. But it was good to see you though.
Yeah, that was a
Um,
nice
nice little
episode.
treat. I don't know if we were right or wrong about everything we said. I know I was wrong about the World Series. This is quite a World Series we're having now.
Yeah.
It's been fun to watch. The games have been great. The 18 inning game was, I mean, I flew home on the red eye that night. So I was asleep by the second inning. So I knew if I had stayed awake or tried to stay awake to see that game and then it went 18 fucking innings, I would have really. So I made the right decision. If you know you're not going to make it to the 18th inning, you might as well leave at the third inning, right?
Yeah. So my wife is a huge Dodgers fan, so we stayed up. It was only a little
Of
after
course.
midnight here, but we stayed up.
Of course you did. If it was the Yankees, I would have stayed up 100%. There's a certain podcaster slash comedian friend we know very, very well who I think was at the game who left and actually got caught and had to be interviewed leaving the game because they had a podcast to go to. You may know him fondly as Brent Crystals, aka Bert Kreischer, at the 18 inning game, but had to leave because of a podcast and was interviewed on the way out the door.
Push the
Pretty
pod.
crazy.
Why is he recording a podcast at
Exact.
what time would it have been? 11 o'clock at
Unless you,
night?
which one's bigger than his? It's just Rogan's, right?
Yeah.
So, and I'm, yeah. So unless you were doing that in the morning, which maybe he was, I don't know. But anyway, the point is this. It was a long, long game. And me being on the East Coast starting at 8 o'clock, I knew I wasn't making it till the game didn't end here till almost 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
So definitely wasn't going to be that doing that. So I fell asleep, but they've been amazing games, dude. Amazing
Well, yeah, I
games.
thought
So
Toronto was going to roll over and die after they lost that. Logically, you lose a game like that,
yes.
series is
Yep.
over. And then they just, I mean,
And I was happy they won game four, and I certainly didn't expect them to win game five. I thought game five was almost on in the cards for the Dodgers. I go, they're not losing two out of three at home.
well, the Dodgers
And
have
they
been
did.
favored in every game that they've played so far. They're
Well, they're
favored
favored
again.
again
Yeah.
tonight. They're favored again tonight. And look, they are mostly because Yamamoto's going and he threw a complete game last time.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I think that's an advantage them in the starting pitching rotation. But I don't know, if he's going to have the same situation. Although he was warming up. Did you see that? He was warming up in the 18th inning.
Yeah.
If it went another inning, Yamamoto would have pitched after a night, 2 nights ago, pitching a complete game. That's awesome,
Well,
dude.
he
That's some old
volunteered.
school
They said he
80s shit.
volunteered, and then he also cleans up the dugout after every game. He picks up all the sweeps up
What?
the seeds. Yeah, they were saying after his complete game, it's just a thing that he did back in Japan too. He cleans up the dugout, especially when they're on the road. He wants to
Wow.
leave it neat and tidy. So he threw the complete game and he's sweeping up all the seeds and spit and all that shit.
Yeah, those Japanese really, I mean, I've never been, but I've heard that like Neil Brennan was telling me, the bathrooms in Japan, like the public bathrooms, are cleaner than what like most people have at their homes here.
Yeah.
The public bathrooms. And not necessarily because they're getting attended like every, 20 minutes more often than hours. They just are kept and treated with more respect. So that makes complete sense. I think the Dodgers will win tonight, but I haven't been right about any of these games so far. So And then I heard Game 7 is going to be crazy because Otani could play. Well, he could. He's going to hit, obviously, right?
Hmm.
He's not going to start, but he could pitch. Now, if you come in and pitch as a reliever, and then they take you out. Say you face the seventh inning, right? And you get one, two, three, and you take him out. You take out Otani. He cannot. If he start, okay, let me start over. If he started the game, right, and he pitched to the fifth inning, you take him out, he can continue to hit for the rest of the game because he started the game. But if you bring
Hmm.
him in as a reliever, right, like could happen tomorrow, bring him in for the seventh inning, right? He mows him down one, two, three. He's supposed to hit in the eighth. He cannot hit in the eighth inning unless you do what they talked about doing is you move him to the outfield then
Well, then they'll
to
move him
keep
to
his
the
bat
outfield.
in,
Yeah,
to keep his bat in. You know,
he
you
can
could
play
say you're
outfield.
moving him. You could play, well, that's what he's going to have to probably at some point. If he does come in to relieve pitching wise, he will probably have to play the field if they want to continue to have his bat. So it's going to get interesting tomorrow. Tomorrow could be a lot of fun. I mean, game sevens of
If
anything
we get
are the
past,
amazing thing.
yeah, if we get past today.
Yes. But anyway, let's get back to the football. Personally, this weekend was not a big win. Not a lot to be excited about, although the final score would indicate we were a bit closer. It really never got. I personally, to be honest, full disclosure, I had a great day of golf with my buddy Matthew from TaylorMade. My good friends over at TaylorMade. Shout out to TaylorMade, best clubs and business and golf stuff in the business. So I was playing golf with him in San Diego during the Giant game, but I had it on my phone in the golf cart on a little phone holder so I could watch it nicely framed up and through the Bluetooth. So I got to keep up here and there. Obviously, the Skattebo injury was terrible,
Yeah.
gross, tough to. I saw it one time and then, there's a lot of videos and pictures and stuff going on. I don't want to see any of that stuff, but it's going to be a while. Obviously, it's the worst. It's the worst of the worst of the injuries.
Well,
It's the ones you don't
no,
want
they
ever to
they
happen to
expect
anyone.
him. He'll be ready for the off-season program.
Yeah.
So it's not as bad as like if he had torn his ACL, you could get
So,
back on the field, but you're not going to have that burst anymore. It's going to take much longer to get it back. So it's a gruesome injury, but it's not as bad as like what Neighbors went through as
yeah,
far as
I
as far as getting back on the field and
recovery and stuff like
being
that. Yeah.
himself.
He's already wheeling around practices, annoying people, according to Dable, in a loving way. So he's still around, and I think that that's great for the team. He took it real well. I know they were bummed. I know it's another playmaker for us gone, which sucks because we really don't have a lot to begin with. Besides our quarterback, who is a playmaker, dude, is a winner. This kid, I mean, look, he's not having the Jaden Daniels success that he had year one or the CJ Stroud success that he had year one as far as like leading the team and getting to the playoffs, but he's leading the team. He's doing everything he can to try to help them win the games, right? He's rarely the reason they lose the games. I don't think they've lost the game because of him. I mean, he's made some
Well,
mistakes, but
the
even when
the
he did,
Saints
he
game,
still
the Saints
the
game
Saints game maybe, but that
was
was a
him,
second
but the
start.
rest
Okay.
he's played phenomenal. He's cleaned it
He's
up and
played
he's looked
he's
good.
played well enough to win and lead his team. The praise that he's getting this week from not only the the defensive coordinator that he just played, Fangio, but also Robert Saleh this week has just been gushing over the kid, saying like, a lot of teams are going to be really bummed that they missed on this guy, and the Giants got a real winner. And so, look, you're hearing other people. It's not just and I'm not saying that you got to like blow smoke up his ass and try. But like, I don't think Robert Saleh would be gushing over an opponent's quarterback, a rookie opponent's quarterback, unless he really felt something special for the kid. And I guess he does. So again, I did not expect to win last week. I wanted it to be a little closer, a little more competitive. I didn't want to obviously lose or have the injuries that we had, but some of the stuff that has to be fixed is got nothing to do with Jackson Dart. Our corners suck. They don't play physical. They can't set an edge. We get run around all the time. And, there's stuff defensively that we have to change a little bit and tighten up. But overall, I'm like, it was a tough. You're at the point where you're playing Philly now where they've turned a corner now. They've started to figure stuff out and go, we're going to right this ship. Literally after the loss to the Giants, the first loss, they kind of, figured stuff out and had, 2 wins since then. But, again, I don't think we're not making the playoffs. We're not trying to go on any run. I would love to continue to evaluate him and have him stay healthy and hope it continues this week because I'm going to be there, by the way. I'm
You gonna
going
be at
on
the game?
Sunday.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Oh, it is in New York. Well, New
Me
Jersey.
and the boys. Yep. Me and the boys are going on Sunday. We have to try to figure out a way to get from Long Island through Manhattan to New Jersey around the New York City Marathon,
Aye.
which, yes, which is hard to predict traffic wise because you're like, well, at some points they're in Brooklyn and you can easily cruise to the Bronx and get around. But sometimes they're in the Bronx, and it's like it's like trying to find a swarm of bees and get around. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Hmm.
what roads are they shutting down? It's a nightmare, dude. It's going to be a nightmare. I wish I could get a helicopter to get over it, but then you
Well,
can't tailgate.
so I could tell that you were half watching the game because they weren't going to win. The Eagles are just they've got way too much talent on their roster and they figured it out against you last week. But
Yeah.
you didn't talk about the two huge calls that completely screwed the Giants and competitively took them out of the
Well,
game.
I know what you're gonna. I was gonna get to the tush point because I was gonna say like these are not plays that.
That was I just watched the game last night. I rewatched it last night, and that was a fumble. He was
Oh
still
yeah,
moving forward. They ripped the
yeah.
ball out. There was no whistle. And then they decided after the fact to come in and say, well, the play was blown dead. It was never blown dead. There was no whistle. The whistle came 3 seconds after the Giants recovered the fumble. And then that offensive pass interference on Slayton was that probably the worst call we've seen so far this year?
It was bad. I mean, I don't know what. Again, I thought these were challengeable.
No.
I
Again,
thought
penalties are
I
not challengeable. That's why I was
Yeah, but didn't
so
they have a
lit up
thing where
about
they
the Chiefs.
pass interference was challengeable after this? I thought
That
there was a
was
pass.
that was an experimental thing that they did for 1 year, and they only did it 1 year because literally every play the coaches
Was
were
challenged,
challenging.
right?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. I was
because
wondering why
every
no one was
play you
doing
could
it
call one way
anymore.
or the other.
Okay. Yeah, no, again, yes, pass interference and the tush push thing. It's like
That was a
uh,
fumble.
it is, and look now between that, the false starts, and all the other stuff, they're gonna have to look at this thing again and figure out a different. Either they're going to have to cut the play, or they're going to have to figure out a different way to referee this thing and make some sort of rules as to what it is. Because look, Wh- it's different when you tush push on the goal line because as soon as the ball crosses the goal line, the actual line, if it gets knocked out or ripped, it's the play's dead. Even if the ref didn't call the whistle, the play's dead. You know what I'm saying? The
Hmm.
ball is crossed. But when you're going for the tush push on a first down, after the first down, the ball is still in play. It's still alive. It still can be knocked out, fumbled. So that's the thing that's different that people have to try to remember. Like this is not just we're trying to get to a certain a point X, and everything beyond that is not necessary. This is you want to get to X, but everything beyond that is still in play and should be taken, in consideration for that. That's why I'm saying, like, for them just to go like, oh, he got over the line that he wanted to get over. Now I'm going to blow the whistle. Are his legs down? Are his knees down? Or is
Nothing
his
was
ass down? Is
down.
his elbow
Nothing.
down?
And he was
No,
still
that's what
going
I'm saying.
forward.
Yes.
It was
So
awful. And no
that's what I think
whistle.
people
Their
forget about. Well,
argument was the play was blown dead. There was no whistle. It's so
yes.
frustrating. Bro got a baby toy. Give me a minute.
Oh boy. Look, I don't blame the refs for these things. I really don't. I understand that they're wrong and that the toll tush push because it's this one play every single week that we can consistently talk about. To me, I'm like, yes, if it's a scoring play, yeah. If it's a first, yes, but that would have been a turnover. It would have changed the course and direction of the game a little bit. But in no way, shape, or form do I think that we're winning that game if we get that turnover. But I don't know. Did you hear anything I just said?
No, what?
Oh, okay. So I didn't know if you had the speaker.
Charlotte loves this little phone, and Rogue had it, and I didn't want her to chew it up.
I was filling time with my perspective of how I don't think that necessarily if we get that turnover and I don't think we necessarily win the game, but yes,
You
that
get
is
that
something that
turnover, you get the Slayton touchdown, the game's called properly. You probably still don't win. I'm not saying you do because the Eagles, I mean, you had no answer for Barkley this week, and losing Skattebo kind of took the wind out,
yes, that's what I
but
felt like
it
too.
would have been much more of a sweat for the Eagles, and it would have been fun down the wire instead of just okay, now it's a beat down on one side.
Yeah,
You got
yeah,
hosed on two calls that they should have gone your way.
yeah. And again, I don't necessarily feel like, that was like a thing where I'm like, we're gonna sit here at the end of the season and go, what the fuck? We could have had something. These refs hosed us. I think in a way they're doing us a favor a little bit.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
we get a
You are
higher
not
draft
you're
pick.
not a playoff team. Get a better
Yes.
draft pick, use it to either get a player or get more capital
Yep.
and be competitive in these games and look good. Have things that you can cheer for without just getting beat 50 to nothing every week. Um, I've been going down rabbit holes of gambling Twitter, and there's some fun conspiracies that the NFC East is the Hard Knocks team for in season this year,
Okay.
and so there are gamblers, real degenerates that are speculating that we're going to see favorable calls for the Eagles, for the Cowboys, and for the Commanders in the upcoming games, and to maybe bet more favorably on them because the NFL needs all these teams to be winning, and they need them to be exciting and in playoff contention in order to make the series more enticing.
I don't necessarily buy into that for one reason, mainly because one of them is going to win. So you don't necessarily need like
But
a
they could
lot of
all
winning
make the
before.
playoffs, or they could all be on the cusp of making the playoffs.
I understand that, but they already have that. It's not like it's I would rather have what you have in the NFC East than what you have, let's say, I'm trying to think of is there a division right now where there's like one team that's blowing everyone else out of the water? That's the one you don't
The
want to
Colts,
cover. Yeah, I mean the Colts, and then who do you have? They got the Bengals. No, you got
you got
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, you've
You have
got
uh
Houston,
and the Titans.
and the Titans, who are just they're yeah,
Yeah, so that's the one you probably wouldn't want to cover because you would have to sit there and go for 6 weeks. We have to talk about Daniel Jones and what a great quarterback he's become because everything else is a dumpster fire around here.
yeah.
So I think regardless, you will have now. You could almost argue the other way that like because all the cameras and all the stuff are going to be there, they're going to be more scrutinized, even more combed over because they're going to be picked apart on HBO the following week. There is that argument to be made. I don't necessarily, but gamblers will figure out or try to, or at least in their mind, come up with some sort of scenario that they think that something's going to happen because of something they believe in. And that's fine. They might be right. I could give you, the opposite side. So I don't necessarily think that. And then, by the way, why not the Giants? Why wouldn't the Giants get a little love?
Because you lost
We're out of
neighbors,
it.
you lost Skattebo,
We're
you're
out of
out
it.
of it. So
Yep,
there's
we're done.
no need.
No need for us. We're just done.
Yeah. You have no
Yeah.
chance. The Commanders are in the worst position, arguably, as far as the record, but they have the young, flashy quarterback that was
That's
last
what, by
year's
the way,
darling and is
yeah.
a potential superstar. So they're going to want to prop him up and win, or make calls favorable to help him win as many games as possible. The Cowboys are the Cowboys, huge fan base, and then the Eagles, are
Let me
one
tell you
of the
something
best
right now.
teams.
And you ask the HBO people, you ask them, Brenton, when this thing airs and they're showing Jackson Dart highlights every week because that's all we have. It's just people will love that. They're going to fall in love with this fucking
Yeah,
kid.
I don't disagree.
And he's going to be the star of the show, whether he's on for 5 minutes or 25 minutes. He's going to be the star of the show. Speaking of stars of the show, you guys, your boyfriend Josh Allen came out of his sabbatical, his little 1 week hiatus, and put the cape on and went to work. It was definitely much I assume
I
better
don't,
than
I
you
don't,
thought it was going to be.
no, I don't agree with that at all.
They won 40-6, didn't they?
They won 40-9. He played one of the
Oh,
worst games he's played in a long time.
he
He
had
was
three
missing a lot.
touchdowns.
He had a touchdown from the goal line. He had a couple of easy tush push touchdowns, and he had one passing touchdown that wasn't. I don't remember how deep it was, but it wasn't. It was a James Cook game. It was an offensive line game. It was a defensive line game, and a James Cook game.
Well,
Josh
it
didn't look
worked.
sharp, and if he plays like that this Sunday, then they're in trouble. And it became very apparent that they need more than Khalil Shakir to make plays.
They absolutely do. This is the week for them. Who are they going to get, Brenton, and what are they going to give up?
Well,
I mean,
one of the issues is he hasn't had Joshua Palmer in a month, and he's already been ruled out for Sunday. And Palmer's like that go deep, kind of clear the middle of the field guy that gets Kincaid open, that gets Shakir more
yeah,
open. Um,
not the question I asked.
I
They have
know.
to go out and find a
I
receiver
mean, honestly,
or a
I
playmaker.
don't
Who are
think
they going to get?
the Jaguars aren't going to get rid of Brian Thomas Jr.
Okay.
Maybe Jacoby Myers, but he's going to probably cost them more than they want to pay. So I've been hearing that they're linked to Raheed Shaheed.
Raheed Shaheed, dude. Shaheed, Khalil Shakir. It's like, what do you have going on there,
We don't
dude?
really have much.
Mohan Zadami.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, we need Keon
Zohan.
Coleman to develop, but Gabe Davis
It's not
practiced.
happening, dude.
Gabe
I
Davis
heard this.
practiced for the first time yesterday, and he has a
Gabe Davis.
history
What are we?
of,
We get a hot time machine?
well, he has a history against Kansas City
I'm sorry, dude. You got this is when you need ownership. You go, we're opening a stadium, okay? Is it next year, right?
next year.
Okay, we're opening a stadium, okay? We need to hang a flag up, a banner. It's the year to do it, okay? We can, no one is going to blame us next year when they go, hey, goddamn, we don't have a second round pick this year because we went out and went for it all last year and got fucking, Jalen Waddle, who after last night, they got to be
Well, the
fire
two
sale.
guys that would be great to get, unfortunately, are both in
Are
division, and
in
it's not going
division,
to happen.
yes. Yeah, well, because you
Garrett
guys,
Wilson and Jalen Waddle would be amazing, but they're not going to trade them to us.
so you got to go after like a Lave. You got to find there has to be a move to be made, dude.
Yeah,
It's you're too close.
I know.
You're too close because you'll see this week because Homeboy in Kansas City's getting his weapons back, and
He's
look
got
how
all
much
his
better they
weapons,
look.
and we won't have
Yeah,
Shaq Lawson, and we won't have
I
Daquan
know.
Jones already ruled out. So it's just,
So
and we lost Ed Oliver indefinitely. I don't know what that even means. I guess he's on
definitely,
IR now, but that's our best run stopper, and that's not saying much because I think they're 29th in the league right now against the run. They did look better once they got a couple of players back from suspension on the D line. They did look a little bit better against the run, but I mean, Kansas City's likely going to have their way with the defense, and then I don't know if the offense is going to be able to keep up because they looked really the passing game looked really flat last week, and Josh was missing throws he doesn't normally miss. So maybe he'll elevate because that's what he seems to do against Kansas City, and I think the over under the last like 5 games has been well over 50 points per game. So hopefully we see a game like that, and hopefully the Bills have the ball last.
I
It's going to be tough though. In my opinion, Kansas City's playing better than any team right now.
yes, I do. I think that
And
they're
Buffalo has not looked good basically since the Ravens game. They have not looked, and that was excluding the first half. That's really the only time they've looked like a championship team is that last chunk of the Ravens game. The rest of it, they either just were playing really bad opponents because you look at their schedule early on and it was everybody's way under 500 now. So they were either beating up on really bad opponents or they just were playing like dog shit.
when does the trade line? When's the
It's
deadline?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay. I think this week. I mean, look, if Josh does not have anyone to throw to this weekend, it's just going to put a lot of pressure on them to make a move.
Yeah.
It's going to put a lot
But
of pressure because
it makes me even more mad. They could have had DK Metcalf for a fourth rounder and just paid him some cash in the
well, not
offseason if
just
they
some
just made it.
cash.
Well,
They get a lot
it
of
was
cash,
it
but
was like
enough.
80 million, but
Yeah, but
they could have made it work.
yes, Yeah, or if you knew that George Pickens was that available. George Pickens on the Bills, Mike, like the way he's playing right now. I mean,
Yeah.
you wish you could talk to Jerry Jones and go, "Hey, dude, you can't have both of them. You know you're not going to fucking win anything this year." But he can't tell me he's
We
not
know
going to
you
win
like
anything.
those picks.
Yeah, so we'll give you a couple picks for George Pickens. Because I feel like when you give that guy, you give Josh Allen someone to throw to, a consistent like threat, a consistent killer, and it will be a different version of them.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I'm not. I don't have a lot of. I'm staying away from the Bills game, and I'm staying away from the Giants game this week because although I believe both teams can win, I don't know if it's in
I
them right now.
yeah, I like the Giants against a banged up 49ers team.
Me
And
too.
I think the 49ers record is way better than what their team actually is, and that's not a knock.
Same.
It's just that they're so beat up.
Yeah.
And the players that are playing, I mean, you got two quarterbacks. Mac Jones has been playing hurt, and then if Brock Purdy comes back, it's like he could re-aggravate at any second. You got
I'm not
McCaffrey
what.
who's
Yeah. Plus,
hanging on by a
it's a
thread.
lateral move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
McCaffrey's one play away from being done.
Honestly, if
Um.
if I do put money on the Bills Chiefs game, I would probably just bet the Chiefs and then be happy if I lose that bet.
Oh, I hate to have to hear you say that. That's
Well, I
terrible.
mean,
I
that's the
couldn't do
reality
that.
of what
I
we've
just
been
stay away from
watching.
it.
That's what we've been watching. It's just the Bills have not played good football.
I'm sorry, dude. Like I said, I didn't really clock the game. I just figured the score has to
No,
indicate
no, no.
something
That
that
was a
was much.
much closer game. Other
That's
than James
remarkable.
James Cook had like 156 yards in the first half, and he finished with
I didn't even go back to
216.
watch. I saw
Yeah,
some
he
highlights and
scored.
that
He
was it.
had a huge touchdown run. I mean, they were running basically the same play to the left. They ran it like 10 times, and Carolina didn't make any adjustments and couldn't stop it. He was getting like 12 yards a carry.
Amazing. All right. Well, this could be the week to get it all right back.
That being said, though, Josh did tie Cam Newton for most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback in NFL history. So they're both at 75 now, including playoffs.
Cam
So
Newtown.
he could break the record this week. I mean, if you do player prop bets, Josh Allen anytime touchdown to break the record against the Chiefs is probably a fairly safe bet.
Do you think that? I mean, because I'm thinking my survivor pool. I have the Rams this week at home against the Saints. I think
Yeah,
that's the safest one to
yeah,
go with.
yes.
Next week, the Bills and the Dolphins. That's the one I'm worried about. I hope because
I
my plan was to take them that week, and if they don't
uh,
have it straightened out
I mean, if they are coming off a loss, then that's probably still a very safe bet. If they come off a win where it was like, oh, they didn't look great, but they got lucky here and they had a turnover and the ball bounced their way there against a division rival, yeah, the Dolphins, they play
my
them
only
tough.
concern is
They play
if
them
the
tough
Dolphins
every time.
fire if the Dolphins fire McDaniels
Well, they
before
they
that
didn't.
game.
They didn't.
I
They
know,
fired
but it
the GM is out as of
okay.
this morning. They said that they're not planning on making any coaching changes at this time.
Oh, really? Okay, because I was like, if they fire McDaniel, I hate a team with a brand new interim coach. They play tough for that guy. It's like one of the like you can almost throw all the numbers away.
Yeah.
I would not want to have to put my whole thing on the Bills versus an interim coach led Miami team at home.
Well, like I said last week, every week for a while now, and I added a couple of teams to it. I am betting the money line against the Dolphins, the Jets, the Titans, the Saints, and the Panthers, and I'm probably going to come out making money at the end of the year. So I still think it's a safe bet. But if Buffalo is coming off a very close win, depending on who gets injured against the Chiefs this Sunday, they play the Bills very tough every time. So I don't feel as safe with that as if I was watching a Bills team where I'm like, yeah, this team is rolling to the playoffs and they look like Super Bowl contenders because they don't right now. The
Yeah.
Dolphins are a mess, but the Dolphins are also capable of beating down the Falcons. And if they had just converted and executed on fourth down a couple of times last night, that Ravens game would have been a little more fun to watch. But, you know, they didn't execute. They had a false start and they just had poor play from Tua. Um, but they are
He looks
capable.
lost.
Yeah, they are capable of being a good team when they want to be, and they always seem to want to be against the Bills.
How good does Lamar look now when he's healthy? Moving
I
around,
mean, he looks like the
extending the
MVP again.
play. Yeah, not good for the Steelers, or I mean, I guess the Cincinnati's out of it.
Um,
But
I wouldn't say they're completely out of it. They could maybe squeak into the playoffs, but if they lose to Chicago this week,
yeah, they're out of it,
they
dude.
got to beat Chicago. But the Steelers, I don't know what the hell happened to their defense, and I think they just put another guy on IR. But their
Yeah,
defense looked really bad against the Packers. And who do they have this week? Are they prime time again? No, they're playing the Colts. Playing the Colts at home.
at home. Now, I looked at that game. This is one that I say to myself, this is a Mike Tomlin game. I feel like this could be one where the Colts get bit. The Colts look, I'm not saying blown out at all. I just say like it's a close game and they get Tomlin.
I don't trust that. I haven't seen much from the defense. I would feel better because I think the Steelers, their whole identity and their whole team is built around the defense. And then Aaron Rodgers at 41 just has to come in and not make mistakes and just kind of dictate where the ball's going. And the defense is playing like dog shit. So if the defense isn't being overpowering, they're not going to win games. And the Colts are firing on all cylinders. Their secondary sucks, but Aaron Rodgers isn't the guy that he once was, so it's not like he's going to pick them apart. Maybe DK Metcalf has a big player too, but Jonathan Taylor's probably going to have his way again. And he's got 4 games with 3 touchdowns already.
What do you have as a spread on that one? Let me see what I
I
have
got
because
the Colts -3 with an over-under of 50.5. Now, if it was the Colts -3 and the over-under was like 35, because the Steelers defense was playing good, I'd probably go with you on that, but I don't trust the Steelers right now. I mean, they're probably going to be 4-4 after this week, and the Ravens are all of a sudden going to be 1 game out of the division.
crazy. I mean, I think they're going to win that division. I think the Ravens are now going to be I mean, look, 1 week, but he looks healthy. The team looks like, Mark Andrews came alive, dude. It was like, where the fuck's this guy been
Yeah.
for 7 weeks?
Well, that's Lamar Jackson. That's
Yeah.
his guy.
Let's get to some picks. How did we do last week, by the way? I don't really remember. We didn't pick any games because we were in shitty
We just
California.
kind of went through everything, but
Yeah,
I'm taking these teams on the money line. I split it.
split it.
Saints and
Oh,
Panthers we got, and then the Dolphins just curb stomped the Falcons, which was surprising.
very surprising.
And then the Jets coming back and winning, that was massive. And that was
What the
against the
hell?
Bengals. The Bengals really pissed that down their legs. But good for Justin Fields. Your owner calls you out, says you can't complete a forward pass, and then he goes and he has a game.
Yeah, where the winning pass is completed by the running back. So congratulations.
He still played great. Give him his
He
credit.
played better, yes, but usually when the crunch moments, you don't hand the ball to your running back to have him throw it
Well,
into the end zone.
it worked. Credit to the
It did.
OC.
Uh, there's a lot of shitty spread. I mean, big time spreads this week. Minnesota at the Lions getting 8.5. I think the Lions run all over them.
Yeah.
Minnesota's kind of they're
And
a wash.
my boy JJ McCarthy is going to be starting. So
He is.
it's not going to get any better for them.
And Aiden Hutchinson just got a huge deal, right?
Mhm.
4 years, something ridiculous to
It's
see.
like 80 million guaranteed or 100 million guaranteed, whatever it
Something
was.
nuts. Good for him. Chargers at the Titans.
I mean, that's against one of those teams that you just take the Chargers on the money line and it's free money. It's not great odds, but it's free money.
Yep. Falcons at the Patriots. Which Falcons team is going to show up, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah, I don't think
This is
I
crazy.
don't want to touch Falcon games anymore.
I
And
know, but
and
I'm really high on the Patriots. But I don't. Again, the only reason I'm
well,
not
then
taking
you
the
you could bet
Patriots is
against sure.
well,
But
no. But what if the version of the Falcons that beat you guys
that's what I'm saying.
handily show up? You know,
I mean, they have the loss against the Dolphins and the 30-0 loss against the Panthers. It's like, where the hell did those come from?
crazy.
And
40 to
last week
nothing.
on DraftKings, Bijan Robinson was the chalk running back that everyone took because he had the best matchup, and he got like 6 points or something.
Yeah, he was supposed to be like
He was going to
the
break.
MVP.
He was going to break the single game rushing record against the Dolphins, according to everyone, and he got 6 points.
Yeah, no, I don't really. I would normally take the Patriots, especially at home, but I don't know 100% as to which Falcons team's showing up. Although
Yeah.
I think the Patriots are for real, dude. I hate as
Unfortunately,
much as you
yes.
probably don't want to say it. You guys
Yeah.
might have missed your
Uh,
gap
They
of
uh
shitty Patriots years.
they um they rebuilt much faster than I think anyone thought they would. I thought they had
And
at
is
least another
that's
year.
Vrabel, right?
That's Vrabel, and that's just their GM doing work. They had the most I think they had the most cap space, or they were at the top of the league in the offseason, and they made some good moves, and they had a couple of good drafts, and here we
And
are.
McDaniels, dude. McDaniels as an offensive coordinator in New England, there's just something that works well about that situation. He's not meant to be a head coach. He's meant to be an offensive coordinator. It's like when Dable gets fired eventually and he goes back to Buffalo and is the offensive coordinator and you guys finally win a Super Bowl. Um, anyway, what else we got?
I like the
Colts
Giants
and
to
Steel.
I like the
Oh,
Giants to
okay.
cover.
You like the Giants to cover the two. I got 2.5 here.
Yeah, I got 2.5 as well. Getting 2.5 at home. So I like the Giants to cover, even though, well, maybe we'll see a resurgence of Tyrone Tracy. We saw flashes last year, and maybe we'll get to see that again.
I picked
Um,
up Devin Singletary too, just as a as
yeah,
case because
may as well.
um I also had the Colts and the Steelers. We said you like the Colts, right?
I like the Colts. If you like the Steelers, then we can just lay off that game.
We'll
But
lay off of it.
I
For
have
some
not,
reason, I think the Steelers are showing up.
I just haven't seen anything from that defense, and I need to see it.
Carolina at the Packers,
You know how
getting
I
12 and a
feel.
half.
You know how I
Just take,
feel. Just
yep,
take the money line against them. They're gonna lose.
yep.
Same with the Rams Saints. Go ahead and take. Although if you don't want to play that bet because it's your survivor and you don't want to be all in on the Rams,
I gotta do it. All in or nothing, dude. Denver at Houston. This is an interesting one because I feel like Denver is going to win this game, but it's only a point and a half. I know Houston's at
and
home.
Denver's getting the 1.5. They're not
Yeah,
favored. Houston's
I
favored at home.
know.
I think it's probably because Houston played a lot better this past week. It's still not saying a lot. Their offensive line still sucks. But they're getting Nico Collins back and they're getting Christian Kirk back. So uh, Stroud will have all his weapons and no excuses.
And they're at home.
And
I still
Houston's
like the
defense
Bron.
is playing pretty good football. They're
Yeah,
not playing bad.
I still like the Broncos though.
Um, yeah,
But I will leave
I
it
mean,
alone. I'll leave it alone.
I think the Broncos should win this game. They're a better team. I think what we're seeing is Houston played San Francisco, and San Francisco is just one of those teams. It doesn't matter if they're good or bad. The betting line that the betting market loves San Francisco
Yeah, they
just off
respect
name
them.
alone. So the fact that Houston beat San Francisco pretty handedly is now helping them this week. And I think the Broncos ultimately will win, but that defense is probably going to cause some problems for Bo Nix, and then the rushing defense of the Texans is really good. So I don't think J.K. Dobbins necessarily has that great of a game.
Okay, we'll leave it alone. Wait till they see what happens. Wait till Vegas sees after the Giants beat the 49ers next week. How
I
they
mean,
react to that.
at that point, we're going to see it. The truth is going to come out.
Bears at the Bengals.
This
I,
one's tough because the Bears defense is they had gotten healthy and then they looked really great and then they lost a couple of players again, the same guys. I think they lost one for the season, like their top three coverage guys. They did not look great against the Ravens and Tyler Huntley. Is Joe Flacco going to play? I think that's the
I don't know.
question. Let me see if there's anything on him yet, because it's the
If he does, it's
practice reports aren't out, and they won't be out until after we're done today. Um, so he is said he's feeling good ahead of Week Nine's matchup against the Bears. Um, Flacco didn't say if he expected to play in Sunday's game, but that was clearly the vibe the veteran single caller was giving out Friday when speaking with the media. So this just came out 20 minutes ago. He's feeling good. If he plays,
feeling good.
if he plays, it'll be a very fun, exciting, back and forth, high scoring game because these
Yep.
two offenses will score on these defenses. But if he doesn't play and it's Jake Browning again, then it's probably going to be one of those like 17-13 clunkers that the Bears will pull off just because they're a little bit better.
Yep. Let's leave it alone. Jacksonville at the Raiders.
Um,
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville and the Raiders coming out of byes, so they're both rested. Um, I would probably lean Jacksonville here.
Yeah, me too. They're getting 2.5 points on the road, so Vegas thinks that they're a better team.
They are a
I
better team.
yeah, I'm just gonna take them on the money line.
Geno Smith has like I think he's averaging like an interception and a half per game. So that's another player prop bet if you want to bet the over on one interception.
Ooh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you for that info.
he's throwing picks every game. And the Jags secondary is not bad. And they can get to the quarterback and rush him a little bit. So that's probably another safe bet. You could parlay that with the Josh Allen anytime touchdown and get some good odds.
We're leaving the Chiefs and the Bills alone. We already ran
Yeah,
through that.
well,
And we got the Seahawks at the Commanders.
give me the Seahawks.
Bingo. Me too. Even though the Commanders are home and it's a primetime game.
Seahawks coming off a bye. I'll tell you what, their defense was really impressive. That
Yeah.
last game against who they played before the bye, whoever they
It's not the
played,
Legion of Boom, but they're still good,
they
dude.
look really good. And if they get their heads out of their asses and actually give Kenneth Walker the football, do you realize? So I forget who they were playing, but it was his birthday. It was not like, oh, this is the week of his birthday. It's his birthday, his actual birthday night, and they're in prime time. And he was running all over. Maybe it was the Texans. He was running all over the defense, and then they took him out multiple times. And Zach Charbonnet had like 5 and 1 yard touchdown runs on his
Yep.
birthday. And he's in a contract year. So it's almost like I was talking to
Look at
Lucas about this in the offseason, where it's like James Cook's leverage to get his contract from the Bills was look at how many touchdowns I scored. And maybe I don't want to say that's what is what's happening, but he doesn't have a single touchdown this year, and we're now in week 9. So they can easily go, look, man,
you
we
didn't
want you
get
to
the
be a
numbers.
Seahawk, but you didn't get your touchdowns. You had 2 touchdowns on the year, so we're only going to give you 12 million instead of 18 million.
Yeah.
I mean, it was his fucking birthday.
You can't get the ball on your birthday. When can you get
He
it,
ran
dude?
it down to the 1 yard line. They took him out and put the other guy in.
The vulture, dude. Charbonnet is the vulture, bro.
It's awful. But I like the
Uh,
Seahawks.
you like the Seahawks.
Commanders
I do
defense is banged
too.
up, but we should pay attention to how the game is called to see if maybe that conspiracy of
Oh my
let's
God.
prop up the
The
commander.
Commanders.
Let's just watch. We're
Do
not
they start
saying that
filming
it's
this week?
happening. I think so. I mean, it's right around that time where it seems like we get 6 or 7 weeks of
Yeah, we're getting into it now. We got the Cardinals at the Cowboys to cap it off this week.
Kyler Murray's
Cardinals,
back.
well, who cares, really? Is Marvin Harrison back? Is the
Yes.
yeah, okay.
Yes. Someone dropped him in one of my leagues.
I mean, talent-wise, he should be top 10, but he's not.
Oh, no, he will be. Just be patient.
Uh,
I went and picked him up immediately. That's not a guy
uh,
that you drop. That's a guy you
no,
keep on your
no.
bench, and even if you're frustrated, you just keep him on your bench and go, well, at least he's not scoring points for
Some week,
someone
yeah, I'm
else.
gonna need him some point.
Exactly. Um,
I like the Cardinals in this game,
I like
even though
the
they're on the road.
I like the
You like the
Cowboys.
Cowboys?
I
Yeah,
like the
neither do I.
Cowboys. That's the two bad defenses,
Yes.
and I would lean that Dak is credit where credit's due. Dak is playing maybe one of the best seasons of his career, and he's got all of his weapons healthy. So I don't think the Cardinals have enough to keep up with Dallas, and maybe their defense can do just enough to rattle Kyler, which we've seen many times. But I like the 53.5 over under. I think that's going to make for a fun game. I think we do get that.
Um, well, let's look at some legs of this. You ready for this parlay that we got going on
Yeah,
here?
you haven't submitted yet, right?
Nothing.
Okay.
I'm going to read it to you first.
Okay.
We get the Giants plus 2.5.
Yes.
The Packers on the money line.
Uh-huh.
The Rams on the money line.
Yep. Two
The,
locks.
the Jags on the money line.
Not as much of a lock, but I still feel good about it.
Seahawks on the money line.
Yes.
Cowboys on the money line.
I like it.
$50 would win us $531.96.
The Giants are going to fuck us, but I still like it, and I think you should
You
roll with it.
son of a.
I still like it. I believe in the Giants this week. You have them just covering, right? You don't have them on the money line?
We're getting 2.5.
Yeah, yeah, they'll do that.
Come on, baby. I'm
You
going to be
might you
there.
might lose this week by a point, but they're going to cover.
Shut up. It's placed. It's
You
over.
want to lose. That's the thing. You want to keep losing competitive games. Get your draft pick.
$50. We can cash out for 45 right now.
That's not bad.
I always look to see what they think we're stupid.
Somebody lost a 16 leg parlay. They bet $15. They were set to win. It was a little over $1 million on FanDuel. Cade Otton, uh, the leg that missed was Cade Otton anytime touchdown. He scored a touchdown. It was ruled a touchdown. They went and reviewed it. His elbow hit. The ball was maybe a half a yard out of the end zone. It was that close. $15, lost the million. I wonder if that person had been offered a cash out. Why
They
not
didn't
take it?
take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they
It
hit
must have been up.
every other leg. It's posted. You can find it if you do the search for like FanDuel Parlay Million. It's crazy. And then I lost. It wasn't as I was pissed, but it wasn't as bad as soon as I saw that. I was like, okay, I should just shut the fuck up. But I had a $25 pick six on DraftKings going. I made 8 picks and I had 7 of them hit. So I still won money, but I was set to win like $3,500 and I needed a half a yard more from Higgins of the Texans. I needed 35 yards. He got me 34.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And there were a couple of plays watching that game where he was open and Stroud just kind of missed him. He overthrew him.
Really?
Yeah.
And so
So,
did you cash out beforehand or no?
it's not, you can't cash out. When you do like
Oh,
a pick six, you just pick as a player going over or under, and then, they either
got it.
go over or under, and you got to get so many right. So I got 7 out of 8. So I still made, I think it was like 286 on a
All right.
$25. So it's not bad, but it could have been 3,500, half a yard.
Um, the, the moral of the story is cash out when they give you that fucking
Yeah,
opportunity, but just
absolutely.
take that money.
Always cash out. Just
Give me the
yeah,
cash
that's
in the
why we
hand.
bet against the Panthers, the Saints, the Titans. Just take the easy money when you can get it and build
True
build
that.
up.
Happy Halloween, everyone. That's the podcast for this week. I hope you guys have a safe trick-or-treating, a good weekend. Lots of money won in both gambling and just fantasy as well. We'll be back next week. Hopefully Lucas might join us next week. We miss him, we love him, and we wish him the best. But we'll talk to you guys soon.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Thank you very much for joining me. How you been? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Steve Renazizi. I'm the guy